carefully, is the fact that the Imam will reciprocate. If you pray for him, he will pray for you. Let me share a story with you. In the time of our 10th Imam, Imam al-Hadi alayhi salam, there was a man by the name of Abdul Rahman who was from the city of Isfahan. Isfahan in the present day is a center, and has been for the last 2 or 3 centuries at least, a center of propagation for Shia theology and thought. But back in the day, it was a hotbed of extremism and immense vitriol towards the Ahlulbayt. It was inhabited by Nasibis at the time of the Ahlulbayt. So this man, who was also a Nasibi, who was also someone who didn't love the Ahlulbayt by any measure, he says that my friends and I went through some very difficult times in terms of the financial state of affairs. So they said, what do we do? Where do we go? Who do we turn to? Let's go to Samarra, the capital city of the Muslim world, and meet Al-Mutawakkil Al-Abbasi, the tyrannical Abbasid Khalifa. Surely he's our leader. If we ask him, he will give us. So he says, we packed our bags and we went all the way from Isfahan to Samarra. While they were there, they were obviously deeply disappointed in what Mutawakkil al-Abbasi was willing to do for them. As a matter of fact, Mutawakkil refused to even meet them. So he says, we ended up standing outside the royal palace for several days, just waiting for an audience, waiting for somebody to grant us entry into the palace so that we could present our case and tell the Khalifa of how poor we are and how much we need his help. But nothing happened until one day. He says, while we were standing outside, we heard someone say that Ali al-Hadi has been summoned to the palace of the Khalifa. So I said to someone, who is Ali al-Hadi? One of the guards responded by saying, Innahu Alawiyyun, he's a descendant of Ali, he's from the lineage of Amir al-Mu'mineen. تقول الرافضة بإمامته. The Rafidites claim that he's an Imam. So you can see the image that was painted before him. He says, so I said to myself, let me wait and see who this person is. So while I was waiting, suddenly I saw a man sitting on the back of a horse. His head was lowered. He wasn't looking to the right or to the left. And yet he walked with such an aura that people simply made way for him as he approached. He says, as soon as I saw the Imam, دَخَلَ فِي قَلْبِي حُبُّهُ. My heart was filled with love and admiration. Suddenly I felt an affection towards this stranger whom I'd never met in my life. And as soon as I saw him, دعوت له في قلبي. Listen, these are key words. He says, I prayed for him in my heart. Because while he was an extremist anti-Ahlul Bayt person, he knew what a tyrant Mutawakkil was. And so he said, I thought to myself, oh Allah, protect this man from the tyranny of Mutawakkil. Oh Allah, because he had asked what Mutawakkil wanted for him, and they said that Mutawakkil wants him dead. Mutawakkil wants to execute him. So he said, I said in my heart, oh Allah, protect Ali al-Hadi. Make sure Mutawakkil doesn't harm him. Make sure Mutawakkil doesn't do anything bad for him. And I kept repeating this dua in my heart as the Imam approached, not looking to any direction, with his head lowered toward the ground, until he got to the point where I was standing. He looked at me and he said, Ya Abdul Rahman, Inna Allah istajaba du'aak. Oh Abdul Rahman, Allah has answered your prayer. And He will increase the length of your life. Your lifespan will increase, and He will give you an abundance of wealth and children. He said, as soon as I heard that, I began shaking and shivering. How did he know what I was thinking of? How did he know about the dua that I made for him? My friends saw me shaking. They said to me, this is the literal translation of the hadith that I'm narrating to you, brothers and sisters. My friend said to me, what is wrong with you? Why are you shaking? He said, I told them, innahu khair. It's okay, it's okay. But I didn't tell them anything. And then I went back to Isfahan. This man says, he says, when I went back, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala opened the floodgates of wealth toward me. So much so that now I have 1,000 silver coins that are being kept safe inside my house. And that's not including all the property, all the wealth, all the money that I have outside of my house. 1,000 silver coins, in other words, 1,000,000 silver coins is worth about $1.5 million in today's value. Back in the day, how much it was, I have no idea. He then says that not only was I inundated with wealth and prosperity, Allah gave me 10 children, and today, as I narrate the story to you, I am 75 years old, and I am one of the strongest Shi'as of Ali al-Hadi alayhi salam. If you pray for him, he prays for you. How could he not pray for